Good morning, everybody. It's Freaky Friday
And why is it freaky today? Good morning.
because it's been a stressful week, as you know. It just
Well, we
seems
had Halloween.
if it can go wrong, it's been going wrong for me lately.
It has been a rough week. What
Mm.
what's been going on in your world, Miss Tina?
Oops, my phone. Um, well, I had heart doctor visits because I had weird heart palpitations and felt like I should have that looked at. And so I've been doing echocardiogram and stress test and the different things. And I went to the doctor this week and he freaked me out by saying that I had two leaky heart valves. He goes, but it's not. He goes, I'm not worried about that. And I'm like, well, but I am. Like that freaks me out. And so,
I talked to my mom about it, just FYI. She said that it's a general term for heart murmur, and she's had one all her life,
uh,
and her dog has one too. But
of course, then you're home like doing Google MD, like, what's a leaky heart valve? Like, is it going to get worse?
she said though, if you actually if it gets down the line and you do need an operation, they are very like they're very good at it. They've done a lot of it, but it is a major operation. So they usually it's not that worrisome, but if it does eventually get down that line, then it's not,
Yeah.
it's
Stuff like
nothing
that.
you should lose sleep over.
Yeah. Yeah. Then I'm trying to meditate, like your heart valve does not leak. It is repairing itself. Namaste.
Now I told you about my guy and the apple cider vinegar, right?
Yes. Yes.
He said all his clogged artery stuff cleared up by drinking apple cider vinegar with mixed with juices. So I'm thinking about getting some. I don't know. I know I like my red wine and a steak, so I probably should drink some.
Yeah. And it's like then my mom was having high blood pressure, which is a normal. We had to take her to the not emergency room, but the quick care. And like that was an issue. It just seems like it's always something. I was supposed to have some money deposited in my bank on Wednesday. It still isn't there. I had to call these merchant services. Where's my money? It's just things. It's just life things. And it's like sometimes I just want to wake up and just like have life be easy. Like, just have an occasional issue. But for me, it's constant issues where I have an occasional day where everything went with ease. And then I get worried, like, okay, something's about to happen because this is just and it's like I feel like it should be the flip, and it's like, is it me, is it life, is it, am I
I'm
attracting
blaming everything on Halloween this week. That's what I'm blaming. We've got Junique, if I'm saying that right. She says I have a mitral valve prolapse. So far, I just have to take antibiotics when I have dental work done, and any operations. Had it for decades now. So
yeah, I know about that because I had to, Google MD like a crazy person, all the things about the heart. So I actually know what she's talking about. Last week, I would have had no clue.
Yeah. I love WebMD. You're like, my elbow hurts. Oh, you have cancer. You're gonna die.
Right?
No.
Yeah.
Elbow hurts. Oh, well,
That's why everybody's here. You're not here to hear about my problems. Let's talk
I'm here
about
to hear about your problems.
who's actually here, which is Amazon selling. And hey, maybe some of you also do Etsy, eBay, and we can always talk about that too.
We could. Yeah, I've had a busy week. It feels like Halloween just threw me off because my Packers were out for Halloween, and then my daughter was out late, and then the aftermath of all the candy and whatnot. And then my son's been sick, so he has bronchitis and is trying to trudge through at college. But Tina put up some slides for us. Do you want me to bring up slides or questions? How do you want to start? Because we do have questions.
Yeah, we can bring up the slide. So, everybody, you remember, has it been 2 years already that Amazon said that they're going to start putting our personal information and our addresses on our Amazon selling stores. So a lot of people freaked out and went and got PO boxes and changed it from their personal name to their LLCs or what have you, because, we're thinking these are privacy issues with the public. Just knowing our name, where we live, most of us were not really happy about this idea. Well, Amazon is up to these shenanigans again. And for those of you that participate and post in Amazon seller forums, your information of who you are and what your store is now going to be linked to your Amazon forum profile information. So that's what we're going to
So
talk about right now.
I want to just touch on the forums in general. Like, I have never posted on the forums. I have gone there to look for help or been sent to there with, to find links or find answers. There are people from Amazon that will go on there, and like Amazon pays them to go on there and help. I don't really see that helping very much. Like, I rarely see Amazon jump in and be like, here's the real answer. It's usually garbage. And you have to realize that on the forums, there are a bunch of trolls, there's a bunch of idiots, and there are some great people that help out. And
Yeah.
trying to find the difference between all three is sometimes really hard to do. Just like I troll Facebook a lot for answers too, and you'll get a slew of different answers, and trying to weed out what is good and what is bad is always hard to do. So, all right, Tina, what the heck, Amazon?
Yes, what the heck, Amazon? I feel like we've been saying that almost weekly on the show. What the heck, Amazon? Well, what the heck, Amazon, are you doing with the GTINs? What the heck, Amazon, are you doing with this, with that? Why are you moving buttons? I feel like I'm constantly complaining or bitching or. And
Like,
if those
they
of you
keep moving
watching are
buttons.
too, yeah, welcome to my world. I'm trying to be positive because I'm actually a positive, fun person, but I feel like lately the weekly shows have been about all the nonsense. So, yes, this is Amazon and everybody watching you. They're looking at you. So, Amazon put this notice out, I think it was right before Halloween, like on October the 28th, saying as the selling community grows, we believe that showing business names will help increase the trust and mutual respect amongst sellers. It's also a great way to network and learn more about other sellers as you engage with in the forums. Really, Amazon, you clearly are not talking to your Amazon sellers.
Where do they get this from? Like,
Who did you
where do
poll?
they think they've got to have somebody made this decision, and it was probably a team of people sitting around and going, how do we make the forums better? And somebody said we should show the business names, and they talked about it, and this is what they came up with.
Yeah, and
And
to
you
let
just
all
want
the
to go,
sellers engage and build a community. Amazon, we already do that, okay? We already do that on Facebook and Instagram, and we're already doing that. We don't need you to keep posting our stuff online.
you know what? I've said it time and time again, but they don't watch me. But why don't you guys fix what everybody is complaining about?
Yes.
And stop fixing what isn't broken.
That's right. Nobody cares about the seller forum of who's who. Amazon sellers don't care who
No.
you are, who your store is, except for the bad ones that want to know that. It's usually not the good people in there that are like, oh, yay, now I know who this person is and what store is theirs. It's always the ones that are out up to no good that want to know this information.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yes,
So,
so Amazon US sellers, it was September 1st of 2020 is when they rolled that out of where our name and address is public.
mm-hmm.
And so now, because of this notification for those that go into the Amazon forums and post quite a bit, they're now deleting their post and their profiles in there because of their safety concerns. So now the posters who are super helpful in there are some that are actually very helpful in there that they're going to be gone. So thanks, Amazon.
Yeah. I mean, why would anybody that has good intent and a good heart and knowledgeable about this stuff go in and post and show their store name? There's no reason.
That's right.
And I'm sorry, what would like, okay, so say Tina's responding to a question of mine, and I'm asking about, how do I address an IP complaint or something in the forums, something important. How would me going and looking at Tina's profile or store information
help you or have anything to do with
believe her advice any more or less? Like, it just doesn't make logical sense. I don't know.
There we go. So this is one seller's complaint because lots of sellers are posting in the forum their opinions on this. So this is an actual post from the forum where the seller says, Oh, of course, but you, Amazon, will gladly post our personal information, including our addresses. That is exactly what you'll be doing if you follow through with this incredibly stupid move. Connect our forum post with our store name, and guess what? Right there on our storefront page is, for most of us, our personal name and address, which, of course, is another unbelievably messed up Amazon policy in the first place. And the Amazon rep who's in the forum, because in the forums, for those that do go in there, Amazon does have people that post in there on behalf of Amazon. They say, as the selling community grows, we believe that showing business names will help increase trust and mutual respect amongst sellers. It's also another great way to network and learn more about the other sellers you engage with in the forums. Let me share the feedback about the profile experience you described and see if I can gather additional details. That almost sounds like when you open up a case with Amazon. Let me forward this to the concerned team member and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, I had a similar response to a case yesterday that it was like blah 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 blah. I'll get back to you. I'm like, what? You guys just have words you string together to come up with responses. But that's absolutely right. And I can tell you right now that nobody that is looking into you that wants to know your name and your address and where you live is really doing it because they love you and they want to help you out and whatnot.
And meet for coffee and talk about Amazon.
Anybody who
I
I've ever met in
personally,
person.
yeah, I personally have never posted in the forums, and I've not been somebody that posts and answers questions in the forum. For me, that's what Facebook is for. However, over the years, on occasion, it is in the forums where I have found that useful link that I just couldn't find. You know, where sometimes I couldn't find the link to apply for GTIN. It's like, where is this link? You know, they don't make it easy to find. I've now have it bookmarked, but when you type in Amazon's help bar and you type in something like, you know, GTIN exemption application, whatever, it's not easy to find. And so sometimes it's easy to just click the link in the seller forum where some other seller has kindly just posted you this link of a shortcut.
Yeah. This is the email response I got yesterday. I am sending this email as a follow-up regarding your concerns since we are still working with our specialty team to ask for the removal of the suppression of the ASIN in question. As soon as we get an update, we will contact you back to let you know. Please use this case as a reference if you have any further concerns of this matter. Your patience. Thank you for your patience as we assist you in this matter. Could you make it any more wordy?
So you have questions about suppressed ASIN, huh?
Yeah, it's suppressed. And the first case, I'm helping a guy. The first case that he did, they responded that it had no browse nodes. There's 3 browse nodes to any listing, and it only had 1. The other 2 were gone. And then the second case said we can't update the browse nodes because there's already browse nodes.
Yeah.
Pick one. You
suppression
can't,
is starting
to
equal depression.
Say what?
I said suppression is starting to equal depression. Suppression, depression.
And now it's been like 4 days, and the rep was like, we'll get back to you in 24 hours. I said, no, you won't. She's like, yes, we will. I will personally make sure we get back to you in 24 hours. I said, no, you guys lie. I said, you guys flat out lie to me. Every week I am on the phone with reps and you lie to me. And she's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm like, you are. And here it is. She lied to me. I'm not saying it to be mean. It's just what you do. You give me some BS answer and you tell me you're going to fix it within 24 hours and then you don't. So this will be call number 4 or 5. I don't know. I have it written down somewhere, but
you have to do like when, you know, they're in jail and they scratch the day 1.
Oh, yeah. And I need to get it to at least like 12 scratches till anything gets moving. And so the only thing is just keep track of the paperwork, because now I can call and say, I need to speak with the catalog team. So get rid of the first department. First department you talk to is garbage. They can't do nothing on anything. So then get to the second department and the catalog team then say that I have now called 5 times. I wish to speak to a supervisor about this matter because it is not getting handled. And you got to use the same type of words. Thank you for transferring me to a supervisor on this matter that you think you might help me with today. I greatly appreciate your answering of the phone, but please transfer me to a supervisor so they can address this matter in the aggressiveness ability of words. Thank you. will play your game right back at you, Amazon.
I have done that so many times out of pure frustration.
Oh yeah.
And then I have to copy and paste Amazon's policy in the case. And, upon checking Amazon's policy, and then I'll like copy and paste it. And sometimes that takes me longer than just doing a big old shipment that might make me, $1,000.
But the copying the policy is the best one for feedback removal. Per your policy, it says that you cannot be talking about price gouging in thing, because that's, talking about pricing, and just quote their policy right back at them.
Yes.
Yes. And then you have to get, I don't want to say you have to be pretty aggressive, because they keep wanting to like verify your information. You have to be like, no, we're not doing that.
Check the seller forums. You can verify me there.
Yeah, go to the forums.
No. Look at my seller profile. You can see my name and address. Okay, this was my sloppy slide because I struggle with doing this. Yes, I made this slide, people, so feel free to judge. Okay, so the forums are full of help and humor. So the first person, this JWS Market, this person is super helpful. They post and comment on everything. And they were asking, somebody asked them about where do they apply for the GTIN. And they gave them a helpful link to this page about applying for GTIN. So sometimes Seller Forum is helpful for things like this.
And if you are looking at G10 exemption and what to do about it, you really need to start at the base, figure out what all of these terms mean, and go and read their policies, because this is the breakdown. Here are the scenarios when you can apply for G10 exemption. I cannot tell you how many times I have met or seen people say, I have bought a GS1 barcode. They didn't. They bought it on eBay or whatever, and they didn't buy a GS1 barcode. And I'm trying to list my product, and I don't know how. I can't get it to list.
Yeah. Okay,
you have done like zero. Welcome to Amazon. It's more confusing than you think, and there's several different. There's brand registers. There's brand approval. There's GTINs. There's GTIN exemption. Yeah. If your GS1 barcode, when you search it on the GS1 database, if it does not show your company name, it's not going to work. It doesn't matter what help you get from Facebook or the forums. It's not going to work.
Yeah, and that's why, when I do help people that want to like launch a private label right out of the gate or things like that, I really feel everybody should get their feet wet. We're just doing regular retail arbitrage just to get the hang of Amazon, and because look, all of you watching, because you're selling on Amazon, and just that first year of learning how to do a shipment, how to lay, there's so many questions you have. And that for a seasoned seller, seems so basic, but at one time that was hard for you too. Getting your Dymo label printer to connect with Inventory Lab and print it out, just all the things, like all of these little things, you need to know how to do them.
In the last, I'll say 2 weeks, but weeks and days kind of run together for me, so take that for what it's worth. But in the last chunk of time frame on Fiverr, I have been hit up with people who have bought a course on how to buy from China and sell it on Amazon, and they have not gone over in whatever course. I don't know if all the courses are the same. I did not ask, but they are clearly not going over how to do barcodes. And
they leave out a lot of stuff, it seems.
Any of that. They're like, I don't know, how do I get my FSNKU? And I bought a UPC code on eBay and it's not working.
Yeah, and that's why you guys need to do the basics. You need to just do the basics, get your feet wet. Once you get the navigation of the back end of Amazon, how to open a case, just all these things. I think then is when you want to venture out to do bundles or private label items. I think then you're ready enough because you have understanding workings of Amazon.
Yeah, definitely. They want to go from A to Z and not understand all the parts in the middle.
Because people make it seem like it's just so easy.
I don't know who's forcing
it is easy, and in other regards it's not. There's headaches along the way, but it's worth it. Right. It's worth it because it gives us all the life and the freedom that we want. And it's fun to go out. I mean, there's the fun parts. Like it's fun to go out in the store and go hunting. And then you find that thing that you're all excited about. I mean, this is fun.
Yeah, I don't know which course this is, but it's promising the sun and the moon, and you can do private label drop shipping from your manufacturer in China to Amazon, make millions of dollars. All you need to do is understand Jungle Scout or Helium 10, find a niche that is needs to be exploited, make the contact with your China company, and have them send it directly to Amazon. That's it. I've given you the course. Yeah, let me charge you $800 for that, please, and thank you. And then they're like, wait a minute, they didn't really actually tell me how to do it. They just
Yeah.
gave you the glossy gloss. Jose's got a question. Does Amazon allow you to do a G10 exemption for all the brands or just generic? Ooh, Jose. I'm glad you asked.
Go
You
ahead.
you can do it for generic, and most of you will be auto approved right now. Everybody who I've walked through in the last 6 weeks has been auto approved for generic in the different categories. I went through and did all the categories. I'm like, screw it, get me all the categories for generic, because you never know what kind of bundle you're going to want to make. And then you can do it for different brands. Now, this is how it works. Some brands are like, no go, absolutely not. Some will give you an error code 5461. If you encounter the error code 5461, you need to create a case, and you can try submitting pictures, the barcode, and the information that they ask to try to get approved. But a lot of times that has been a glitch in the system, and they say, thank you for bringing this to our attention. That's a glitch. We have now fixed it. And you go back to apply, and it says, no go, the brand is not allowed to do G10 exemptions. Then the other option you'll get is you'll get to the application button. And on that application button, you need to put in all the said information that I just did, pictures, what the barcode is, etc. So if you, like, let's say we got Halloween, we got Christmas coming up, and you see a candy at the store and you scan the barcode and it doesn't come up. That barcode is not in the Amazon catalog. You could buy that item and go apply with it and see if you can get it in. And that's what I'll be doing with pretty much anything that's like under $5. I might try and get some major brands. Now, the approval is either going to be 96 hours. You get 96 hours to make your listings, or it's like forever. You get G10 exemption until they take it away, because they can take it away. I've had that happen.
They giveth and they take it away.
Yeah, they giveth and they taketh. But I know somebody that recently did that and got it for Crayola. And I'm like, oh, I'm jealous. They found a Crayola item and they're like, it's not in the catalog. What do I do? I'm like, apply to be able to list it. I'm sorry, maybe I got it wrong. You can apply to list it with the barcode, but you can also apply for G10 exemption for different brands.
Mm-hmm.
And say, why do you want it to be exempt? And you can say it's because you're going to put, I don't know, if you had Crayola pencils with crayons or something, and you wanted to make a 2-pack, you can put it that way. That's what I did for Bath and Body Works. I said, I want to put a shower gel with a lotion, and I need G10 exemption for Bath and Body Works. And I showed them my lotion and shower gel thing, and got it that way. Does that make sense, Tina? Did I explain that right?
I'm with you,
Okay.
But of course, when you already know how to do all these things, it's like, yep. Now, if I'm somebody new and I don't know that, then I don't know. If somebody out there doesn't know about how to do that stuff, didn't make sense to you.
Yeah.
That's where it matters.
I did try to get for Marvel, but the UPC code was tied to the distributor's name. So they're like, the brand name and the name on the GS1 barcode don't match up. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of a bummer. All right. What's this one?
Yes, this one I loved. So this is in the seller form too. A person asked to sell glassware with dark humor on them, and they put their examples of what they had. The person that replied, helping them, because Amazon removed the offensive language. So their listing was removed because their glassware had offensive language. And so the person replied to it was, that isn't dark humor. Why did the Jedi cross the road to get to the dark side? And in the darkness is where a flashlight really shines. Now that is dark humor. Everything's fine until somebody reports it as offensive.
Oh my God.
And that just cracked me up.
That is really good. I love that dark humor.
Yeah. Now, I don't know what the person's offensive statements were on their glassware, because those images were since removed from Amazon. Now, did that original poster, eventually remove the images, or did Amazon even remove them in the forum because they were offensive? I don't know, but I'm assuming they weren't that offensive that the person, posted them. And I have listings that have offensive language in them, and you can post things with offensive language. I can tell you that. However, on some of my listings with offensive language, Amazon will not let me run advertising campaigns on them because there's profanity.
Or wine.
Item. Hmm?
Or anything to do with alcohol. You cannot run advertising on anything offensive,
Mm-hmm.
sexual awareness, offensive, or alcohol, because they're like, we don't promote drinking.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay.
I have had t-shirts removed for nudity in the past, and they weren't nude. Okay. Judgy eyes. They weren't nudes. They were pictures of like pinup girls on a shirt that I had. So she wasn't nude, but she was sexy, right? And Amazon removed the listing for nudity. So I'm
So
not.
here's some of the things you can do with, if you're trying to have things on there. Don't put it in your title. Don't put it in your bullets. You just kind of gloss over, like skip that word, so you know that it's not there. Now, I don't know why dark side would get flagged, but half of the half of the complaints are just from robots. Robots will go through, and if they see that you've used an offensive word, they will take and shut you down. Now, that offensive word, like I found out COVID is an offensive word. You cannot put COVID in your back end keywords. That will flag you and get you taken down, because they don't want you to be anybody to get the idea that you are solving COVID. Cancer has a little bit of that too, because you cannot claim to cure cancer or do anything with cancer. So you got to be careful on how you word the word
Yeah,
cancer
because
in
it
your
it
post.
could be a cancer awareness thing for, Cancer
Mm-hmm.
Awareness Month, and then you use that word cancer, and Amazon now has flagged your listing, even though you're not selling a cure for cancer. You're selling a cancer
Now,
themed item.
my latest cancer awareness item did not get taken down, but I have in the past with the word cancer. So maybe they've eased up on that word, especially like if you put cancer in the word awareness with it instead of cures cancer. I don't
Right.
know. I don't know if the algorithms pick up the phrases and or whatnot. And then the other way you can get in trouble is if somebody reports it. And let's be honest, there's people out there that got nothing better to do in their lives than go around and be like, oh my God, that's offensive, instead of just moving them by. And they will go and try to take your stuff down. And it could be competitors too. I know that's really big in the POD community, is if they don't like yours and they're competing against it, they'll go do a bunch of reports. And there are groups out there that all they do is you say, I want to target this seller or this, item. And the network of people get paid to go and make reports against it. And they're trying to crack down on that, but I don't think they can.
It's like, why do the people that are evil have so much time to plot evilness? It's like, just go do you, boo.
Yeah. Well, it's because they can pay people $2-3 an hour in the Philippines. And, you have, let's say you have 6 people, that's only costing you $12 an hour. And your shirt, if you get that other shirt taken down, your sales are going to double. Well, you do the money and you do the math. It's worth it to say, okay, you guys go target this person, go get them taken down. And that's unfortunate. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. Jose says, thank you. When you want to make a bundle with 2 different brands and UPCs, do you only choose one brand or one UPC? You are getting into the gray area, Jose. Technically,
That's
what is
offensive.
it? The item that's the biggest value of the bundle could be in the brand, or would you do it under generic, Tina? What do you think?
Well, it really depends on the brands. That can be just a really long-winded answer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, more than likely I would do generic, but then again, is it a brand name that would flag an IP that, there's so many variables to that.
Yeah. There is. And you know what, try which way you think would be the best, or what will get you the most traffic on Amazon. And if that doesn't work, then you have your plan B. Good morning, Jackson. All right, what's your next one here? FBA small and light.
Yeah. So somebody, can I speak today? I tried to search in the seller forum things that were likely that somebody would be looking for. And so somebody asked about FBA small and light pricing. And were their words. I copy and pasted their words. This is why the grammar is not correct. This is not from me. Do you how to register for small and light? Is it auto or manual? And then I wrote, these are my words, bad advice given, the blind leading the blind. And the person said, seller filled small and light is invitation only. That is false. So you can get bad information in seller forum because anybody can register an item for small and light as long as it meets the guidelines. It's not an invite only thing. And I know most of you or all of you watching already know this, but seller forum sometimes is not helpful.
No, and sometimes the high level trolls in there, it's funny, and they're messing with this person, but it's not right. They really shouldn't mess with this person. This person obviously probably English is a second language based off of their grammar. And the fact that they know 2 languages is already like amazing in itself.
Enough. Yes, I'm envious of that.
Yeah. And instead of giving a proper, correct response, they're just messing with them. And you shouldn't.
Cool. Yeah.
When you should mess with somebody and when you shouldn't, I mean, that's all up for debate, right? I see it time and time again on the Facebook boards. People will ask, and I don't want to say the dumbest questions asked ever, but if you've ever been reading the boards for more than a minute, you'll know that question has been asked and answered 100 times, maybe 100 times that week. So it is really easy just to learn how to go and search for the questions, search for the answers. You could type in Amazon small and light program into Google, and I guarantee you will get a better answer than going and posting on these forums. So that's,
and I really wonder, why aren't these people in Facebook groups? I feel like Facebook groups are much, much more helpful than Amazon forum. The only time Amazon forum is beneficial is if an Amazon employee answers a question in there. Good morning, Facebook user.
Yeah, can't tell who you are, but we love you. Yeah, it's tough. All right. What did you do here?
Oh, this was so funny. This was in the seller forums. I was in there for about an hour last night just trying to find funny stuff because there was hysterical stuff in here. So this is a screenshot of somebody's post where they said, it looks like Amazon has some humorous programmers. And Turtle Cove says, I was digging into the code behind some of Amazon's product pages and I saw this. And if you look in that green area, they put meow and they made like a little image there of a duck. If you see that in the green, that's an actual duck with the words meow in parentheses.
You think that's a duck?
I think it looks like a duck to me.
Kind of looks like a duck, I guess.
If it looks like a duck and acts like a duck and walks like a duck.
What are they doing? One of my favorite things to do is when I'm trying to search for UPC codes, whatever page you're on, you hit Control U and it will show you the back end of the programming of said web page, and you can find the UPC code there. I did that for Walmart the other day. I'm like, I need the UPC for that Walmart item. Press Control U. Just a tip there. Well,
I remember learning that last year, and I haven't used it in a long time. I forgot about that. But yeah, so I thought that was funny. But at the same time, it makes you wonder, are some of these programmers also doing some not so great stuff on the back end?
Yeah. What are they doing back there? So my son is that's what he's studying at school, is programming. And I keep telling him, like, I need you to make me software programs for Amazon.
Yeah.
He's like, no, Mom, no.
And this was also some people sharing some of their chat messages with Amazon help. And so this person shared in the forum their customer support chat. And it was, let me check for you. Do you have the order number? So I don't know what that person said. I'm sure that blacked out was their order number. So Romeo, the person at Amazon helping, says, I'm not so familiar with carriers in your area, but let me check this for you. Would you mind waiting for a couple minutes while I look into this for you? Him, sure. Romeo says, I searched for carriers in your area. I'm not sure if they provide less fees for shipping an international item. Here's the 2 links. I hope this can help me. That's a list of military aircraft carriers. Romeo says, I'm sorry. I just realized that. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
Look, you can't make this up. This is someone's chat message.
And they really, and it's not their fault that they are, stupid is not the right word. Ignorant, untrained, not, versed. But I literally have had to explain Amazon to the Amazon seller reps more times than I can count. And it's just ridiculous. And this last one, I talked to her, and it was the whole one that we've been talking about the browse nodes. And she's like, oh, it's because you don't have a product description. I'm like, nope, that's not it. That's not it. We've already fixed that. We've already done that. That was like 6 cases ago. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's why I said read the notes on the case. Read the case notes before we start talking, because I'm tired of repeating myself. It's ridiculous.
My guess is with this particular chat is this seller was trying to inquire about sending a hazmat item. Because if you noticed, even the name of the the sites had, like hazmat has something in there.
What if you could send like jet carrier? That'd be awesome. Drop it off. We've got ports here, so that'd be fun. When do you stop selling FBM orders intended to arrive for Christmas, especially after first class stuff? Probably the 22nd.
Yeah.
What do you think? I'll take a look.
Yeah, and sometimes, depending on what the item is, I might message the buyer and let them know, this may come a day late. Is that okay? I don't do that often. It just really depends what the item is.
Yeah. 25th is on a Sunday this year, so I'll probably stop the night of the 21st and take that Thursday, Friday to ship in anything that's left over in the office. And then bone out. I'm taking like the Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. I'm taking a nice long holiday. I'm debating coming and see my mom for her birthday on the 26th, Tina. So you might have to come to that. I don't know. I got to talk with the hubby and see if flights are available. But just my thoughts that go through my head, like, I need to tell Tina that. Now I've done it. After transmitting boxes from Inventory Lab to Amazon, when the red error box pops up for missing expiration dates, is there a way to go back and correct and add the dates? Yep. Or do I need to have to delete the item to complete the batch? No. Let me click on my Inventory Lab. Go over to working shipments. On your working shipments, I don't have any in my queue right now. In your working shipments, click on the 3 little lines and it will say box content information. In the box content information, go to the item you want, and where it says expiration date, it says NA. Click on the NA. You can click on it. Type in the date you want. You can print out more labels if you want to print out labels. Sometimes I just let it go. Like if it's 2 years out, whatever, I'm just going to send it in. If it's 3 months out, then I'm going to print the label and go put the new label on it. And then hit transmit new box content information to Amazon. Now, if you've already like it's gone, it's not in there anymore, you've zeroed it out of Inventory Lab, it's gone through, you've already boxed it up, etc., there is no way to go in through Amazon and update and or delete that item. And you cannot create a case and tell them to delete an item out of your shipment. You will have to take the ding on your account if you take the item out. Or what I do, I just go slap an expiration date on there and let it ride. And if Amazon catches it, I take the ding. If they don't catch it, which I don't think they've ever caught, then you're good to go. Do not lose sleep over it, though, unless if you have like 3 pallets of stuff going. Then
and I see Sherry answered in the chat message helping too. Thank you, Sherry, for helping a fellow seller.
Yep, update. Thank you. Yep. Yeah, and the new workflow. The new workflow sucks. We're all using the old one.
Yep. I tried the new workflow yesterday for the first time. I'm like, because it was a smaller shipment. It was a 1 box batch with 2 SKUs. So I thought, okay, I didn't want it to be one of my bigger batches with lots of SKUs. So I practiced it for the first time yesterday. And of course, I didn't like the click through process, but this was my issue. So we had already boxed it up, and I decided to use the new method because thinking this was a simple shipment. Well, my husband then was weighing the box, and he's like, babe, it's 51 pounds, this box. And we had everything fit in one box. It's like, oh crap. Well, on the old workflow, you can view and modify units, right? All he had to do was take out 3 units and our box was good. But on the new workflow, you can't modify units. And if you can, I could not find it anywhere. Yeah. Now I could change it, like how many I was sending, but then of course it's not going to let you complete your shipment. So I figured out all the buttons, clicked my way through, and got my label. Another thing I noticed yesterday, I don't know if this happens for anyone who has tried the new method. When I went to print out the 2 labels that go on our box, they were not formatted the same. So
you have to reselect the thermal printer.
Okay, because it printed it out on 2 sheets and it made like a big square right in the middle. And so it didn't print side by side on my sticker paper that I have in my printer. And I was like, yeah, okay.
You lose your printing settings when you go to the new system.
Yeah, and I didn't have time to go in there and try to mess with that either. And I thought, do I force myself to keep using this new method that I don't care for? And why make the new method? Because usually when Amazon, you have the choice, do you want to use the old or the new? Eventually the old is gone and you have to use the new. And I'm afraid that is what's going to happen.
I just hope Inventory Lab fixes it before they, before it goes along too far. Now, in your case, did you wind up doing 2 boxes or did you delete the shipment?
No, I just sent it in and I thought, well, Amazon will ding me for 3 missing because, again, it's just, like I said when our show started, I feel like if anything can go wrong lately or be frustrating, that's the way it's been for me lately. It's either going wrong or it's frustrating as hell. And so I did not want to go through and delete the batch and redo the batch. It's like, look, I've got 8,000 other things I need to do today. I'll just take your shipment box content was wrong message.
Now, you used to be, you could take the ding or you could ship it in overweight and get a ding that way.
No, I didn't do that because those overweight dings, I did that once on accident. What they charge you wouldn't have been worth it because they charge you an arm and a leg if you send in a box that is over 50 pounds.
Now, there used to be a way where you could just delete the whole thing in Amazon on the Amazon side and then go into Inventory Lab and either re-push it through or duplicate the batch. And I couldn't find the duplicate the batch button the other day.
Yeah.
Have you ever used that button? Do you know where it went?
I have.
It may not have moved. I may have forgotten.
Yeah, I have done that button before, but off the top of my head, I can't tell you where it's at.
Okay. Well, I couldn't find it the other day. Jose says Inventory Lab made a webinar warning to have all of your counts correct. And then said the old workflow will continue to work after that deadline in the web. Yeah, I don't know who I don't trust either of them too. They have their own agenda and they'll do what they want to do and we'll conform to whatever we have to conform with. It's still better than selling on Walmart.
And then Sherry says that she had the notification from Inventory Lab that we have until the 29th to switch to the new method.
Whatever.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I don't get what the point of the new workflow is. It's more cumbersome. There's like no benefit. I'm going, you already had all this information to begin with, and now you're just doing it in a different way that is more harder to do. How are you still accessing? When you go from Inventory Lab and you push your batch through, it will, and then you click on that batch.
It tells you at the very top, like there's words that say use old workflow. And if you click those words, it will take you there.
Right. What is this one about?
So this is just hysterical customer reviews. This was also in, I found this somewhere in the forums about where people were posting hysterical customer reviews. And this one cracked me up. They put, it's been 10 long, amazing years. And they wrote this review years ago. This is from 2011. A little over a decade ago, I bought my 55-gallon drum of lube. I never thought I'd use it all, but a few days ago, the pump finally ran dry. I've had a lot of good times with it. My wife too, and not just what you'd think. One day I hosed down our hardwood floored hallway so I could use it as a slip and slide. You shouldn't think of this as a purchase. It's an investment sure to pay off in spades. Who buys a 55-gallon tub of lube?
That's like a whole drum. How would you ship it?
And it's like, I would have loved to have seen the actual listing for that. I remember a few years ago, there was a listing, and it's now since come down. It was on Amazon for a long, long time, and it had the most hysterical reviews. It was for some gummy bears, and I don't know if they were sugar-free. I feel like they were these sugar-free gummy bears, and the reviews on them were absolutely hysterical, and all of them were about it causing people to run to the bathroom. So all the posts were like, beware, because after you eat this, you're going to be in the bathroom for hours. You know, if you want it to be, you know, for a weight loss method. It was all these potty comments, and it was so funny.
Just a second. I found it, but I got to sign out.
Yeah, you know, sometimes I just need things that make me laugh to alleviate some of the other stresses that go on in my life. Sometimes I just like a little bit of humor in my day.
Okay, just a second. All right, we've got a question here. Again, Inventory Lab will continue to work, but the only hiccups is to select the old workflow button. Nothing else will change. The deadline to use the new workflow is for one other different types of companies. Okay. So $2,000.
Oh, well, there you go.
That's how much it costs, people. I love healthy and active. Easy cleanup. White sheets, no problem. Oh my God.
I wonder if they can advertise this listing.
No, I don't think you can.
Based on our earlier comments. So
no, you can't.
Yeah. Oh goodness.
We'll skip down to the things. Can I bathe in this? Any chance of getting a subscription? How long can I use this product? Does TSA make you provide your own case to fly a lot?
Oh my God.
There's videos. There's videos. Okay, I'll pop the ace and you all can read later.
People, yeah, I've never in my life felt like I needed a big gallon drum of that stuff. TMI, but really, who does? If you do, I don't know if I want to know.
We've got a reference to nursing homes. I really don't want to. No.
Sometimes people watching, like, what in the world are they thinking of the nonsense that we discuss sometimes? Everyone today in the comments is talking about the serious topics, and I'm over here being silly.
I don't know what back alley zipped fights are. I'm not sure I want to.
Yet you feel compelled to keep reading these 5-star reviews.
I'm great for wrestling. I need a laugh too. It's Friday, man. We've both had a week, and I do need to get off on time today though. So that is something. Yes, I have a 9:00 appointment. So I will need to leave in about 5 minutes here. But do we have any comments or questions from there? If not, I can bring up some comments that were brought on my page here. There's always a delay. What do you got going on today, Tina? Let me bring up a question.
Oh my gosh. More than I can get done, I am sure. I have a donation. My only real big errand I have to do today is taking a donation. I've got a few phone calls to make. Just a lot of just those odds and ends, right? I feel like Friday is usually paperwork day, and like just wrapping up those loose ends so you're ready for the weekend.
Nice. Yeah. All right. So let's see here. Is there a way to use poly bags with your Sealer. Yes, you can use regular poly bags with your sealer. It doesn't work very well though, but in a pinch you can. And I have used like regular poly bags or even Ziplocs or grocery bag, the bread bags from Walmart in my heat sealer to package up small items. Like if you have a game, say you're selling Monopoly on eBay, and you want to put all the Monopoly pieces in together and just put them in a little bag and have it sealed. That looks pretty good. Why are you printing expiration date if it's already on the packaging? Because Amazon needs to have it on the packaging outside in some cases. If you are not putting things in a bag, then I don't think you need to print the expiration date again. Do you
I haven't
remember?
always printed the expiration date. A lot of times
Yeah.
it's so visible on the packaging. And I believe if you read an Amazon in the back end, it needs to be visible on the package. And so some of them, they're really hard to see. I'll sometimes have to take a flashlight because it's almost like black ink on black on the package. And it's hard to see that. The ones that are hard to see, I make sure that I put the expiration date on my label. The other ones that it's so clearly displayed on the packaging, I don't bother printing it out on my labels. I never have.
Exactly. So somebody asked a good question here. If you're advertising your all SKU campaign, and somebody else is on there with a lower price, are they going to get the buy box or not? And so let me explain advertising. When you go to Amazon and you type in your product, let's say I'm looking for Reese's Christmas trees, right? And they're going to be a big seller this holiday. Everybody loves those Reese's Christmas trees. The sponsored items are going to be your top 4 displayed. Then it's going to go by rank below that. So let's say I'm on the listing for $12 and Tina's on the listing for $10, but I'm advertising. So my item's going to be on that first display for $12. And when you click on that, my store is going to have the buy box. Now the customer could scroll down and see, oh, the same item is in the second row or the third row. And if I click on it, it's $10 and not $12. But a lot of times the customer will click on that $12 and then make the purchase off of my thing. Sometimes they'll wise up and they'll see that it's $2 cheaper if they look at all the buyers. But you know how people are on their phone, they're just like click, 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 and they order. That is where the advertising things come in. So even though on the listing I didn't have the buy box, my sponsored item got it.
And sometimes people will wonder on that same topic, if they're paying for the advertising, but the person that's selling it for $10 is the one that's getting all the sales. I'm sure some people wonder about that as well. Because I know at one time I wondered about that. Like, is my advertising benefiting all of them? And it's kind of like yes and no, because the advertising is going to draw traffic to that listing. However, you're only paying for the advertising, if it's clicked for your selling store, if that makes sense. So if they're clicking on it for that other seller, you're not being charged the advertising fee.
Exactly. Shoot, I did not add it to my store, but the answer is yes, Jose. I have not bought it. God, we talked about it in a thread, and now I'm going to have to go find that thread because I was going to add that bubble wrap to my store and buy some, and I did not. It might be in my cart somewhere too. So I'll poke around for it, Jose, and have a link for it somewhere. I don't know where. Maybe post it in the group or whatnot. But the answer is yes. I'll try and find it here in a second, but I'm running out of time. Okay, last question. There was one up here. We had a question about tactical arbitrage, but it was kind of complex. So I'm going to leave that one for next time because I don't want to, it was a very lengthy question. So we've got, hello, I wanted to know if I'm asking for brand ungating, is an invoice from the reseller wholesaler, is it enough, or do we need to get the authorization letter? Do you want to
Well, usually you just need your invoice. On occasion, Amazon will require an authorization letter from the brand. On certain brands now, they didn't used to. I know I had to get, I don't know that you need it anymore, but when I got ungated for Gund the plush, the stuffed animals, I had to actually have a letter of authorization from Gund. And I was able to get that because I was dealing directly with Gund. So it really just depends. I tried to apply for something this week, and they wanted me to have authorization from the brand. The invoice wasn't enough to suffice, but that is more rare. Usually, just your invoice will suffice.
All right, Jose, I'm putting a link in my store right now, and then I will. Shh, my dog is here with me today. She is happy, but I'll put the ASIN right here, but I'm also going to get the link for it as well. All right. Well, what do you got going on next week, Miss Tina?
Oh my gosh, I don't know yet. Today, shopping, of course, there's always shopping, but I usually sit down on the weekend and I literally kind of transfer all the things over that I didn't get done and make new to-do lists and new plans and reprioritize. It's a weekly thing because I juggle a lot of things, as you know.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is taking me forever. But I am now adding it to my store.
And what about you? What are you doing?
I don't know. My daughter didn't have school today because I don't know. They like to have Fridays off. I shouldn't say it, but they like to do that. I've got to catch up on school. I have fallen a little bit behind in my class, and I've got a test coming up on Monday, so I've got to work on that a little bit. And we're gonna put out Christmas. That's
This weekend? Yeah, it's
yes.
nice to get it done earlier in the month because for us that are, doing this Amazon game, we just keep getting busier and busier through the month of November. So sometimes if you think you're going to be able to have decorations up, you better do it earlier than later.
Exactly. All right. Now I finally got it. Copy link. There we go.
I don't know when I'm going to get it to decorate for Christmas this year because when my sister-in-law found out this summer about her cancer and had to jet out of here, and we were in charge of emptying out her place, our garage is full of all of her belongings because she couldn't take them with her because she had to get out of here speedily. And so all of her stuff is piled in front of where my Christmas is. So we may not decorate it all this year, and that will make me sad because I love decorating for Christmas, but it just may not happen this year.
I've totally done that before. It's not a end of the world thing.
No.
But yeah, we're gonna decorate this weekend because we're going, okay, then it's my husband's birthday, then he's out of town in New Orleans, and then I'm out of town for Oregon for Black Friday shopping, and then it's like December. So we're gonna do it now.
That's right.
We're also going to do the office. I bought some clings for the restroom, and they have at the Dollar Tree. They have little fake snow, like
cute. Yeah.
Yeah, Sherry says go to the Dollar Tree, get some things.
There you go.
Has anybody's sales picked up?
A year, you all. It has been a year. I rarely share about my personal life on our videos, but it has been a year for us at my house.
Yeah. And then real quick, Judy, it's because the ASIN itself is gated. So there's different gates. There's category gate, brand gate, and then ASIN gate. So like Nike is going to gate the ones that Nike is on and they don't want you to be on. So they're going to gate those.
Gated for everybody. It's not going. Now, if you see a lot of other sellers on there, that's when I would question it. But if it's just nobody really else is on there, but a handful, then it's probably that for everybody.
Yep. All right. I got to bail because I got to go to my next thing. So I will talk to you all later. Everybody have a great day.
And any of my VA group people, I'm going to jump in our VA Facebook group next.
Excellent. We'll have fun with that. Say hi.
All right. Bye-bye, y'all. Have a great week.